Welcome to a Niv-Mizzet Reborn deck tech.
In this video, we're going to show you how to build a Guild Matters deck and maximize Niv-Mizzet's trigger.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, BZ. Together, we're the Nitpicking Nerds.
And before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel because our subscribers are 10% more likely to hit the perfect 10 cards off of Niv-Mizzet.
Disclaimer, subscribing to the Nitpicking Nerds will not affect the top 10 cards of your library. Why don't we read Niv-Mizzet?
Take it away.
Got a spicy one for you. New spoiler from War of the Spark. Fresh out of the oven. Niv-Mizzet...
That's where they get them from. They get them right out of the oven.
Niv-Mizzet Reborn. White, blue, black, red, green. For a legendary dragon avatar, he's a 6/6 with flying. When Niv-Mizzet Reborn enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each color pair, choose a card that's exactly those colors from among them. Put the chosen cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom in a random order.
He kind of does look like he's coming out of an oven or something.
He's fresh out.
He was in something, I don't know.
Almost every card in this entire deck is multicolored, as in one of the guilds. This is a Guilds Matters deck. We're trying to have a smooth spread of all the guilds.
I don't even know why we needed this. It just is a Guilds Matter deck. We don't even need the air quotes.
No, the air quotes are completely... There's no Azorius Matters. You don't get payoff from playing Azorius cards. You get payoff playing blue-white cards. Right, like the guilds don't matter. They could be called anything. Just the color pairs matter.
Guilds matter.
Right. That's exactly what I just said. Alright, here's the breakdown. 7 Azorius cards, 7 Simic cards, 7 Celestia cards, 6 Golgari, 6 Rakdos, 6 Gruul, 5 Orzhov, 5 Dimir, 4 Izzet, and 4 Boros.
Oh no, poor Izzet and Boros.
Pretty healthy spread. We left the worst ones are at the bottom. With the least to offer us.
Where that Boros would be at the bottom.
So since Niv-Mizzet hasn't entered his battlefield ability, we want to be abusing his enters the battlefield ability because it's insane. It can draw us like 5-6 cards. Easy.
But if you're some sort of subscriber to Nitpicking Nerds, you can draw 10.
You can always draw 10, I think.
No. You have a 10%.
10% more likely chance to draw 10, which is huge. That's going to up your win percentage. It's just a great idea.
So we base this deck around Enter the Battlefield ability. So let's talk about some of the best
We need
Enter
to
the
have
Battlefield
other friends for Nim. Yeah.
Niv-Mizzet's the best one. Followed by...
Well, not necessarily in any order, but we have Baleful Strix, blue and a black for a 1/1 flyer, ETB draw card, and it has Death Touch.
Ooh, I've never got to put this in the EDH deck. I love this card.
It's always just like the 101st card. Unless you're an artifact deck.
Yeah, this fits really well in artifact decks, but specifically in a Guilds Matter deck, it's a Dimir Bird.
True. Spellseeker is not a Dimir Bird, but it basically counts as a multicolored spell because it can find a plethora of instants and sorceries that are guilds one way or the other.
Including, but not limited to, spoiler alert, Momentary Blinks in the deck.
Yeah, Momentary Blink's real good.
It's really good in this deck. It even lets you just blink Spellseeker to get another card, and then you have another activation, or another cast of it from the graveyard.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Cloud Blazer, 2/2 for 5. It's Azorius, ETB, gain 2 and draw 2.
Talk about another card I've never gotten to put in the deck yet.
These are all just cool cards.
Good.
I stay away from the Blink decks personally. I don't really have too many. It's one of your favorite cards.
Ooh, Coiling Oracle? Oh, this is just a better version of BZ's favorite card.
It's not a better version of my favorite card.
It is better.
Really? Because in my Abzan decks, you can't dredge off of a Coiling Oracle. It's true. Just don't listen to me. That's just how the rules work.
Regardless of that, this card is better.
In a 5-color non-dredge deck, card's better.
This card is better, period.
This card has really weird art, the next one.
I want a little discussion. Is Coiling Oracle not better?
It depends on the deck.
In the average deck?
Completely depends on the deck. You can't just give it a random deck. It's never a random deck.
In most decks.
In a vacuum?
In most blue-green decks. If you have
so now we're in blue and green.
Obviously.
What do you mean? Like,
you have to be able to play both cards.
As a card.
If
you're playing both cards, you probably want Coiling Oracle.
Okay.
But if you can't play both cards, you obviously want Elvish Visionary. I'm not going to build a deck that needs Coiling Oracle. What a dumb conversation.
Coiling Oracle is better.
I don't even think it's better.
It is better.
I'm reading Molder Hulk, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if that's going to make the video.
You still can't stop me. I'm in complete control right now.
Yeah, but you don't know what Molder Hulk does? So if I just never read it and I never pull up the Google Doc, then you're hostage.
Oh yeah? I don't know what Molder Hulk does. 7 green-black undergrowth. It costs 1 less for each creature in your graveyard. When Molder Hulk enters the battlefield, return target land from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Oof. Not tapped.
Oh no!
It's better.
Oh no, it's slightly better than I thought it was. You're right.
Yeah, taste it. Okay.
Also, get wrecked. I knew exactly what the card did outside of the tap.
Exactly. Then it's not exactly. That's 90% isn't a 100. Get out of here.
Guess who's got a 99 and BZ's a little salty.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know what Mold the Hulk does.
I'm so salty. I'm gonna read Hostage Taker, the next Blinky card in this.
Why don't you read the erotic version? Because if you read the version of the cards, you're gonna get confused.
Sure. Hostage Taker is 2 black blue for a 2/3 human pirate. ETB. You get to exile another target creature until Hostage Taker leaves
Or
artifact, and you can cast it for any mana while it's exiled.
That'd be weird if you cast for any mana.
I'll Steel Blade, Steel Caster for 1.
Dang, that's impressive.
Wow.
That's really good. Well, but instead of casting for 1, what you actually do is you can steal something that costs 4 mana and cast it with mana of any color.
Yeah, as though we're colorless, basically.
As though we're mana of any color. It's such a weird wording.
Yeah, it is. But the card's really good. I actually have played with this card. It's sweet.
I don't think I have. Also like this card. Have not played with it.
Yeah, it's in my mono orange deck.
I'll tell you what. They give me the online version art.
Oh, where it's stealing a raptor?
She's taking a raptor hostage.
It's amazing. Who wants the raptor? Where it's like, no, give it back.
Final one.
Knight of Autumn, bread and butter. Just bread and butter, like flicker it, removal, and that's it. It removes an artifact or enchantment.
You can also gain life.
You can gain life if you really need life. I like this way better than Rex Age.
It's just modal. I mean, it can also be a 4/3 if you need a 4/3 for whatever reason. I mean, it's just the ability to be all the different things is what really makes it good.
It's true. What if we want additional Niv-Mizzet triggers specifically? Because he's the best ETB in the deck.
Well, why don't we start with our multicolored clones that we have in the deck? We have Altered Ego, which is X2, green-blue.
Weird mana cost.
Yeah, it's a clone and enters as a copy of a creature, but it also enters with the counters equal to X.
Mm-hmm.
And then
4 mana clone. These are basically another Niv-Mizzet, and obviously they can be the best thing on the field if Niv's not on the field or if he's not the best thing on the field.
Another one, Dex Duplicate.
I like this one more.
This is 2 red-blue for another clone, but it also has Dethrone.
And haste.
Ooh, and haste. I forgot to have
If you clone like a spaghetti monster, you can smack someone real good.
Back in my old Maelstrom Wonder deck, back when I had like 4, 5, 6 clones for some reason. I don't even know why.
You were a noob.
I was. I had like 4, 5, or 6 clones. Dex Duplicate was one of my favorites.
Yeah, you probably played garbage like Coiling Oracle in that deck.
That card's still in my deck.
That's why you can't beat me.
That's why I can't beat him. Never beat him.
So moving on from Dex Duplicate, we got a really weird card that does not see much play.
I have never seen this see play ever.
I would say 99% of Magic players could not tell you what this card does.
Me and BC just had a little contest off camera right now where I attempted to do it.
Close.
I was close. I think I was about
like 95%.
I was gonna say 85 because
85.
I was 85%. I got the rarity wrong, and I got that it exiles itself.
Yeah, this is what they were putting at Mythic and Dragon's Maze. Legion's Initiative. It is red-white for an enchantment. Red creatures you control get +1/+0. White creatures you control get +0/+1.
That means Niv-Mizzet gets +1/+1.
Wow, but we're in it for actually not that ability. We're in it to pay Boros and exile Legion's Initiative. Exile all creatures you control. At the beginning of the next combat, return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control, and they all gain haste. So if you want an extra Niv trigger and you want to save your team from a board wipe, voop, voop, pick them all up.
Voop.
They all have ETBs, pretty much every creature in this deck.
And you get to go voop.
You can go voop.
No, voop.
Oh, sorry. If you're really passionate, just stick to the voop, okay?
Yeah, voop. VOOP. If you were wondering how to spell voop.
Yeah, they definitely were. And there's a card you brought up. Why don't you read it?
Momentary Blink. 1 in the white for an instant. Exile target creature you control. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Flashback. 3 in a blue. Do the same thing.
We talked about it. 2 mana Blink Niv-Mizzet and 4 mana Blink Niv-Mizzet. Also saves your creatures from spot removal. This one's an all-star.
The only thing that's sad about this card is its color identity is it, but it's not actually an is it card.
You know what's even more sad? Its color identity is Azorius. But it's not an Azorius card or an Izzet card. Oh, man.
I meant Azorius.
Doubly sad.
It's real sad.
Card we never put into decks comes up next. Panharmonicon. But I think it actually goes in this deck.
Look at the top 20 cards of your library.
Yeah, look at the top 20. You can get up to 10 and then up to 10. How is that not? Like, you go, like, turn 3 Panharmonicon, turn 4 Niv-Mizzet. Boom.
Draw potentially 20 cards.
That's what you get for not killing my Panharmonicon. I just drew 20 cards.
You're the luckiest person in the world. If you ever get to draw 20 cards off of this, please tell us. I want to see.
Yeah, take a picture of the 20.
Take a picture of the 20. I would love to see that.
Send it to us on Twitter.
Yes, send it to us on Twitter. That'd be so cool to see. Like, I know you can fake it, but come on. You got to get it real.
Even if you want to fake it.
You got to
Photoshop it.
It's got to be like 0.000000000. A lot more zeros on that. 1.
No, probably 2.
2. But it doesn't really change the odds at all.
No, it's super low.
It's got to be incredibly low because you can't hit any lands. You can't hit any repeats.
You can't hit any repeats. There's only 4 Boros cards in here. Gotta hit one of those.
You gotta hit one of those Boros cards, and then one of those Boros cards.
And then one of the most popular cards, but only one.
Yep. It's
more like good luck. Okay, that's all we're gonna say.
Also, if you would like to do the math for us, because we are not math.
Oh yeah, we need the math.
We were really curious. What are the odds of
like take this deck list for example, and then say what are the odds of going 10?
Yes, if you're good at math, we would love to know if from a Niv-Mizzet entering the battlefield, what are the odds you draw 10?
Right. If you're not good at math, tell us something else. We don't really want to know that from you.
If you're not good at math, send us a picture of you juggling.
Yeah, that sounds great. Miss Metal Witch is our final inclusion in this, like, the best of the additional ETB triggers. Pay 4, you get to exile something, and then boop, right back.
And you get to go voop.
Voop.
V-O-O-P.
Making a lot of onomatopoeias today.
Miss Metal Witch is really cool.
It can be annoying. It's kind of like Eldrazi Displacer.
It makes me wish Rune was not 3 colors, because then Rune could be in this deck too.
Yeah, Rune is solid. Rune could just be in here, but I don't think he's good enough to justify not playing a Celestia card or a Simic card.
I think there's like 7 cards in the whole
Yeah, there's
deck.
like Sol Ring, Chromatic Lantern, Panharmonicon, Wood Elves, Spellseeker. That's like basically it.
Yeah, I think there might be one more hidden in there, plus Lance.
Yeah, and then you're just trying to get these 10.
So realistically, Niv-Mizzet is like most likely 5 mana draw 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, between 3 and 5, I guess. Let's say that, realistically.
Yeah, but also you can draw 10.
Right.
Especially if you're subscribed to our channel.
Especially, you just have a better chance. Yeah, that's not going to help. I don't think those faces were attractive that we just made.
I think they were the most attractive.
So, maybe you've looked up a Niv-Mizzet deck. Maybe you haven't. There's not many online. But I bet they don't have as cool of ways of winning as we do. We're already playing ETB effects, right? We're going to abuse some of the weirder ones.
I love this one.
To just start shooting people down.
I have definitely died to this one.
Yeah, this one's sweet.
Why don't you give it a recap?
Alright, well this one is Anathemancer. We got 1 black-red for a 2/2 zombie wizard. When Anathemancer comes into play, which means enters the battlefield, it deals damage to target player equal to the number of non-basic lands they control. It also has Unearth for 5 black-red, which brings it from your grave into play, has haste, then you exile it at the end step. But most likely we're going to just play it, and then eventually flicker it a bunch of times, shoot people for 5, 10, 15 damage. Mm-hmm. That's going to kill some people, for sure.
This is a very Cthulhu-esque monster.
He's just like a 2/2 Cthulhu.
He does look like Cthulhu. I don't know if Al Cthulhu is a thing.
I don't think it is.
Al Cthulhu.
But next on our shoot them down with ETB triggers, we have Foundry Champion.
Uh-oh. Cards I don't know what they do.
Whoa, get ready. Gatecrash All-Star. 4 red white for a 4/4 elemental soldier. When he enters the battlefield, it deals damage to target creature or player equal to the number of creatures you control, which is probably going to be 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm. But what if we flickered him?
What if we kept doing it? He also has fire breathing and butt breathing.
Classic butt breathing.
How is that not fun to say?
What else would it be besides butt breathing?
There's nothing else it could be.
Or is it just fire breathing out his butt? Yeah. Yeah.
And now we have that.
Now you have that horrifying image in your head.
That's one thing to do. There's also ramp cards. We have, we mentioned Wood Elves. There's Growth Spirals. There's whatever else. You can check out the deck list and are tapped out. But we have X spells, Cut to Ribbons, which you can draw off Niv-Mizzet, and Death to the Deathless as X spells to just finish them off.
Death to the Deathless.
It's a beating, even for like
You ever been
7.
have you ever been death to Decklist? Because it hurts.
It hurts real bad. Roshin Meanderous. We throw her Roshin Meanderer. We threw in this deck because she can help our X spells.
Oh yeah. Oh, isn't
Yeah,
isn't that Braun Strowman's sister?
I don't know if it's Braun Strowman's sister or not. She's one of the only people who isn't affected by the
Yeah, they're both
Great Aurora.
Right, they're both from Morrowind. Braun Strowman's from Morrowind, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're brother sister.
I think they are.
Let's pretend they are, even if they're not.
Cut.
A few moments later.
Confirmed as canon.
We're back.
Confirmed. There's brother sister.
Which is so I love Brian Stardom / Braun Strowman.
He's not in the deck.
He's not in the deck.
Sorry, bud.
He doesn't fit in this deck at all.
No.
But his sister, for the first time ever, has made a deck.
That on the Nitpicking Nerds.
And I will tell you this: as long as this channel keeps going, Braun Strowman will eventually get a deck.
He will eventually get something.
And I will get an altar for the channel
To be Braun
Strowman.
And the thumbnail probably has Braun Strowman in it.
Oh, absolutely. Braun Strowman throwing, I don't know, who's the most ridiculous person he threw? I'm sure.
Like Rey Mysterio.
I'm sure it's a celebrity.
So a celebrity, yeah. All right.
Like Hugh Jackman.
Wrestling references aside, we have our X spells. That's 2 things we can do. There's still more things we can do, thanks to Cruel Celebrant and Poison Tip Archer.
Yep.
Which, when your creatures die or other creatures die, Celebrant pings each opponent, and then I think Poison Tip Archer also pings each opponent, but you don't gain life.
So both these cards hit both of your opponents. Also, they're multicolored. You get to draw them off in Niv-Mizzet.
Yep.
There's a few sack outlets in here.
Cartel Aristocrat Virals, because we're trying to find things that get with Niv-Mizzet, so they're like weirder ones. There's no Viscera Seer in here.
Yeah, like as good as Viscera Seer is, you can't really afford to put in a deck like this because you're really
and Blood Artist too. Like
all about maximizing the value.
Yeah, we're just trying to draw like 85 cards.
It's,
One of Reliquary Tower is the only colorless land, by the way.
and let's be very clear, it's not in a land slot. It's in a spell slot.
It's like the Maze of Ith spell slot.
It is absolutely in a spell slot.
Yes. So
Yes, it takes up your land drop, but it is worth it in a deck like this because you're probably going to go over max hand size a couple times.
yeah, I mean, how many? You play Niv-Mizzet on turn 5, draw 4 cards, and you don't have more than 7 now? What's going on?
Yeah, that'd
Be weird.
be good. You were playing very efficiently.
True. Now that's the deck. That's what we got for you. Is there anything else you want to mention? I guess we can mention the mana base real quick. We just put mostly rainbow lands, 10 fetches, 10 shocks, 1 of each basic, extra forest for good measure, and we got a deck.
If you have, if you're building this deck and you have duels will go in this deck.
Duels are perfect for this deck. This is where you want the duels.
If you're on a budget,
Shocklands are fine. Also, the Cycle lands from Amonkhet and the Tango lands from Battle for Zendikar.
if you're on a budget with a 5-color deck, I don't mind the 3-color tap lands.
Yeah, those are honestly fine. We just think they're suboptimal.
It's when you're on a budget.
Yeah, that's balling on a budget.
This deck can definitely be budget. There's a lot of cheap cards in this deck.
This deck is not expensive. I think it was like $800, and there's 20 shocks and fetches in here.
Yeah, and almost everything is in fetches. I mean, literally almost everything.
Yeah, the fetches are like.
I bet
if
the
this deck
fetches
is
add up to like $500.
If this deck is $800, Scalding Tarn is like $100.
It's like 120 now.
Yeah, 120 of that is Scalding Tarn, so I wouldn't worry too much about the actual cost.
Yeah, the rest of this deck is cheap. It turns out that none of these spells are insanely expensive. So this is a cheap deck. It's a cool deck. Like I said, if you're gonna build a mana base, get those cheap trio lands, whatever they're called.
And you can put more cards like Farseek. Just take a little bit of a hit off Niv-Mizzet, and just put more like Farseek mana fixing in there.
This deck is cool.
Deck's awesome.
Glad we got to make it.
Probably my favorite 5-color general now.
Also, you see right there, that's Nicol Bolas.
Yeah, he's in the background, just like beefing out. I don't know what he's doing.
I mean, he appears in like a lot of art to just be menacing in the background.
Better than the stupid horns in Amonkhet.
Yeah. So Nicol Bolas is hanging out over my right shoulder here.
And over my right shoulder, we have our 3 patrons, Dustin, Tyler, and Joseph, who are our favorite people on the entire planet. See them? You could be part of them if you just checked out our Patreon link in the description. Donate a couple of dollars a month. Ain't no thing. Make better content for you to consume.
That'd be awesome. Peace out, Tribe Scout.